Hey guys, how y'all doing? So, Donnell, right here. I Donnell. And this is my room, my stitchery. I like to refer to my sewing room as my stitchery. So, let's see here. I am going to jump into the chat. I'm going to welcome everybody. And then we're going to jump into getting this stuff quilted up and walk you guys through how I do this step by step. So we have Michelle and Melissa, first two in the house. Looks like Melissa beat Michelle. Uh-oh. And then we got Miss Judy Neighbors. I will be larking, trying to catch up on my sewing since I haven't been able to do much since last October. Have a great day. You too, beautiful. I'm so happy you're up for sewing. Hey, Auntie Patricia and Miss Jackie, how are you doing, sweethearts? Let's see. And then we got Mama Debbie. She's here, but cutting. Good girl. Just don't be cutting any fingers. Yeah, I just sent you a picture of him. Okay. Hey, Miss Laura. How you doing, sweetheart? How you feeling? How's recovering doing for you? Miss Vintage Joe, good morning to you, beautiful. And Miss Katie Crass, Miss Sandra. Stop by to say hello. Can't stay very long, but I'm happy to be here. Yay! But I'm happy you're here too. Alrighty, it looks like that is all for right now. I'm sure more will come in, and as they do, we will discuss everything and greet them and everything else. So, daggone it. I dropped my pencil. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Welcome. Nice to see you in here. Let's see. Sorry, go. Issues. No worries, Mom. Talk to you later. Bye. Hopefully it wasn't you cutting your fingers. All right, so yesterday, you guys watched me make up these blocks. I got 3 of them done up, which was the 3 I did on my live stream. And that was okay because I spent the rest of the day prepping, cutting up all my fabric, prepping all my backing, my batting, all that good stuff. Girl, yes, Sandra. I am like so excited for Heather's thing today. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to find out the details. At least what details she's going to give us. So, let's see. I am going to bring you guys over here to my table. As soon as I get my camera angled just beautifully here. Excuse the messiness over here. Just trying to get the right angle. There we go. Okay, so yesterday you guys watched me try and make up these blocks here. Nice, beautiful, scrappy blocks. The solids, the pastel solids are from Kona Cotton Cuts. Or not Cotton Cuts, but Kona Solids. It was a layer cake. I cut it into 5-inch into quarters, so 5-inch squares. And then I cut those 5-inch squares diagonally. So that way there, I can use those as my cornerstones, and it does give me a little bit of extra with the way I did this. All of my measurements I'm done and everything yesterday is in the description box of the video from yesterday as well as today. Let's see. I'm hanging in there. I'm anxious to get past this IV stuff. It's difficult to sew with the IV. In fact, I haven't been able to do it at my machine. Ah, girl, you'll get there. Patience. Everything the worthwhile comes in time. Let's see. Hey, baby girl, doing my nails. Going to get x-rays of my hand and wrist tomorrow. They have to look pretty for pictures. Auntie Patricia, you didn't know that those don't show up on the x-rays, right? Hey, Miss Dawn, how you doing, sweethearts? And let's see, everybody saying hi, hi, hi. Sandra says, be right back. Alrighty. So what I did is, and if you see here, I have lines going all the way around all four sides of my blocks. That is because that is my 1/4 of an inch line. So I know that tells me, okay, not to quilt anything when I do my quilting in a few moments, not to quilt anything over on that side. Now, I have never been a super patient person, but I'm trying. Girl, I hear you. I'm not a patient person at all. I am like, I need instant gratification. So I'm not a patient person either, which is why this lion is taking so dang long for me to do. Because it's like, come on. So then what I did, so my blocks are 8.5 inches. So then I cut my batting to be, so I cut my batting so that way they are 7 3/4 inches. And I will add all this detail to the description box after the live stream. And then my backing, I am doing 2 different backings. I cut those to 10-inch square because that'll give me a 3/4 inch allowance on each side. Very true, Michelle. Very true. So this here is the backing for half of the squares. I'm going to need a total of 56 squares or 56 blocks because it's going to be 7 across and 8 down. So 8 rows is 7. So I got half of them is going to be this and the other half is going to be this. So that is going to be super cute together. Absolutely adorable. I do already have a couple of these pinned up. I just saved this one here so that way there I can show you guys. So what I did is I took my 9.5 inch ruler. I put it on here so that way there I had roughly about 1/4 of an inch on all 4 sides of my ruler. And I put took my pencil and I marked a little bit right here. Right on the corners. So that way there I know. I marked just like indents right here on the corners. So that way there I know where about my ruler needs to be on here. And I'll bring it up so you guys can see. And then I also went in about a 1/2 of an inch because my block, so when my ruler is down here on my 10-inch backing square, my block, to be even on all sides, sits within a 1/2 an inch on all sides of my ruler. So this is how I'm lining it up, which tells me, okay, over here, that's where my block needs to be. So then I move my block out of the way, I hold my pencil just over, and I made a little dot right down here. So that way there, I know right where my block needs to sit. So when I go to put my block down, it is 100% completely even on all sides. Or at least as close to it as I can get. Hey, Candace, how you doing, honey? So I got this all set down. This is all even on all sides. So now, and I will be offering these here in my Etsy shop. These are coming up. I have a few that I can get posted today, but beautiful little pin cushions I made using my some EPP Headsies. And they're filled with crushed up walnut shells. So now I'm just trying to take in my little baby magic pens. And I'm just pinning these corners. Since I have this all lined up in the correct orientation of how I want it. So now the next thing is to figure out what threads do I want to use to quilt this. What color do I want to do? Hey, June, how you doing, sweethearts? Hey, Lynn, how you doing? Your package already shipped out yesterday, I believe it was. So hopefully, you get it very soon. Great idea for using up some 5-inch scrap blocks. Yes, ma'am, Judy. Hey, Brenda. How you doing, sweetheart? And, okay, looks like I haven't missed anybody else. Okay, coffee break. Okay, so I have a bunch of colors over here all ready to go to test out. I knew I wanted to do a light pastel color because I don't want to take away from the boldness of the center of these. So I have this this really pretty greeny colored one. And then I have my go-to for most quilts, which is my cream color or tan. I have this like chalky blue. I have a baby blue. I like the Donna Jordan method of laying it across the fabric to see which one I like best. And it usually works better when you're actually holding the thread when you're unthreading the spool. So what I do is I just pull out a decent amount of thread and like how Donna Jordan does or did and lay it across and see which one I like the way it looks best. Me personally, I like the lavender looking one. This one right here for the top. It doesn't show up so much as lavender on here, but it's like a really pretty Easter lavender. Let's see if it shows up better over here. A little bit. But this is the color we're going to be going for the top and everything for the top quilting. Now we got to figure out the color for the backing for the bobbins. And I already figured that out as well, but I'm going to show you guys what I chose. Because I did have a few different options, which was that cream, this greenish color, that green minty color. So for this backing here, because I'm going to use a different bobbin for each one. So for this backing here, it's like, okay, I want it to blend in so that way you don't really see it. So I'm like, okay, we got this. And then I also have this Missouri Star cotton quilting thread, 50 weight, called Maze. I don't really know if they actually have it anymore or not. I'm sure they probably do because it's theirs. And it's a really beautiful yellow. Like really soft yellow. And that like blends in really well with this. So I'm going to go with this one here for my bobbin for these. And then my bobbin for the teal one. Let's see, Candace, we started having babies early. I was 18. My daughter was around 18 and 19, and my granddaughter had him at 20. Yep, I had my babies early too. I was 19 when I just turned 19 when I gave birth to my first, and and about to turn 23 when I gave birth to my second. So, and then for the teal, I was like, okay, not so much that one. I'm like, that one's too light. And this one is a little too dark, but I couldn't find an equal medium, so I'm going with the darker one. I'm hoping I don't regret that. But that's the decisions I went with. So we're going to put the rest of these up off to the side up here for right now. Ooh, I am running out of room in my space. And I'm going to... But that is how I have figured out the layouts for that. Just want to break down my process and everything on this. So I'm going to turn this camera off and move you guys over to my machine. So you can watch me. Let's see if I have my angle correct. There we go. So I know that the lavender is going to be the top for all of mine. So I'm going to put that on my machine. And just to let everybody know, next Sunday, I think it is. Let me double check the date really quick. I believe next Sunday. Let's see. Oh, we'll do it on the 13th. So September 13th, which is a Saturday, I will be having a sale on my channel. So just to let you guys all know that September 13th is going to be a sale. So mark your calendars. That way that gives me a couple weeks for prep. Michelle, that's the advantage of having babies younger. I won't live to see great grandbabies. My kids are 5 and 10 years away from having kids, I hope. Candace, I thought the same thing too, but you know, mine decided they ain't ready to have babies anytime soon. So it is what it is. At least they gave me grandpuppies, so I can't. So I'm happy. Let's see. Thank you, Sandra. And let's see. My mom is 77, so she is great great grandma. I need to take the baby to Florida and meet her. Very stressful, Laura. I had just turned 19 and 22 years old. Married when I turned 18. Love having a young family. Yeah, same here, Laura. I always knew I wanted to have my babies young. So we're going to start off with the teal one. So I'm going to put this back up. Actually, I need to change out my foot. So we're going to unthread the needle, put it back up here so it's out of the way. And we need to change out my foot to the walking foot. Because I don't want any mistake, any boo-boos. No boo-boos. I try to have everything ready to go and be all sorted out and everything today for y'all. Let me tell you, that is so hard to do because you always forget something. So for me, this is the walking foot I'm using. It's my Juki walking foot. It has a little arm over here. And that way there to help pull all 3 layers through at an equal speed. Hey Lily, how you doing? I'm blessed to have 2 grands and 1 great. Ah, I'm so jealous. Hey Joanna. How you doing, Sissy? So I'm just putting that in here, making sure this little movable arm over here I was just showing you guys goes up on the arm up there. Tighten this down. Sounds like Luna's out there throwing a fit because her daddy most likely has Pitsy out instead of her. The girls always get so jealous of each other. It's funny. Okay, so top thread is threaded. I can put these both in my drawer right here to change back out after I'm done doing the quilting of all this. And now I just need to put my bobbin in. Hello, Donnell, get it together. Let's see. No worries at all, Joe. I will yell for you if I need you. Go pet them pretty fabrics, girly. Then I like to pull my bobbin thread up. You do not, it's not required of you to do so, but I like to. For me, it just makes it seem easier for me. So for the quilting of this, and this teal here is actually what's left over from me doing my husband's quilted jacket back at Christmas time. And so I'm going to be, and then I got this fat quarter bundle from Fabric Addiction. And then this backing right here, absolutely gorgeous backing. I got this from T2X Quilts. I had ordered 2.5 yards, so it was enough to get me 32 10-inch squares out of it. I was 24 when I had my oldest and 42 when I had my youngest. I had 3 girls and 3 boys. Lost one of the boys. Aw, so sorry, Jackie. That's sad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over here on one of the ends, and I'm just going to echo my seam. And then when I get all the way over here to the end, I'm going to come back up over this way, travel back up, and do this side. So that way there, all my seams are protected. And I'm going to start a little bit in. And I did back stitch on the very beginning right there. I'm just going up to the edge of the backing, and then I'm going over. And that's the best part about doing quilt as you go. You can do whatever design you want, and you don't have to worry about the manipulation of it underneath your domestic machine, which is what I love so much about doing this. So I figure I'm going to quilt up 2 blocks, and then I will put those show you guys how I put those 2 together and to make my rows. And next year I am going to be practicing my practicing free motion quilting. So you guys are gonna come along for the ride for that. It's gonna be really awesome. And so I just have the inside of my petal over here right up against the seam. So I don't know if you guys can see this or not. So I'll show you whenever I get done with this block. Let's see. Hey, Miss Linda. How you doing, sweetheart? Let's see, Linda, I did the same thing. Woke up from my cat nap, achy, sore, and tired, so I went back and was actually able to catch another hour and a half cat nap, and now moving slowly. But at least you're moving. You know, every day that you wake up on the right side of the ground is a good day. Everything else can be taken care of. And you can quilt this however you want. This is just how I choose to quilt this because I want to follow along my seams, which helps reinforce my seams. This is just the design I decided to go. I'm like, you know, these are strips. Let's go up and down each strip. Let's see. Agreed to now. Jackie, I feel your heart. Lost one of my grands too young. Army. I seen that. I am so sorry. I seen that on your Facebook page. I was like, oh my gosh. My heart went out to you so much. Let's see. I'm getting Mati long arm with a 10-foot frame. It's my birthday present from me to me. That is so cool. I am envious of anybody that knows how to free motion quilt or a long arm or is gutsy enough to learn, because I've been terrified. I'm not gonna lie. I'll do curves. I'll do wild crazy bargellos or whatever else that anyone else wants to get me into. But man, give me some free motion quilting or, God forbid, one of these days long arming, and I am terrified. I have free motion quilted one quilt in my life, and it came out rough. I'm not gonna lie. So now I'm just going along each one of my little triangles here. So what I'm going to do is, because I can see roundabout, so the best part about these little pin cushions I have is I can actually keep them right here along my throat space to be able to put my pins in, and it does not cause me any interference whatsoever. So now I'm just going along right along the edge of my inside edge of my batting. That way there I can get this all pinned down nice and beautifully and evenly. And I will show all that quilting to you once I get this completely done up in just a moment. Let's see. Yep, correct way. Okay. Let's see. My head tea pin cushion is right next to my serger. Awesome. Yeah, I love my little head tea pin cushions. They are so adorable. And they're fun to make. I will be doing a video on those here soon as well. I just got a couple other Wednesday videos that'll be coming first. Videos that were requested. This Wednesday video will be how to use my binding spools that we made. And then next Wednesday will be a zipper pouch. So I wish everyone a lovely day and week ahead. Hope to see you with Heather in her Zoom at 2. Girl, you know I'll be there. Okay, so now we are on the last triangle, and then I can show you how that worked out. And I'm just going to do a quick little 1 or 2 stitch back stitch right here. Alrighty, so this here is my quilting of this. So I just did the triangles, and then I went up and down each one of my strips, and then there it is on the back. Really cute design. So now I'm going to swap out my bobbin for the pale yellow, the Maisie color bobbin. So what I'm just going to do is hold my finger down on my purple thread, my needle thread, so I don't pull that through. Once you figure out the basics, free motion is easier to learn than you think. I found one 5-minute tutorial that taught me more than the other 100-ish I had watched about hand position and control. Send me a link to that video please. Please, 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 please. I need to watch that video because I'm like terrified to do free motion quilting. So now I'm going to put this one down here underneath. And then after the live stream, I will be doing up a lot of these. And I'll just do up like all the yellows. And then I'll come back through it and do up like all the teals. And then I'll combine them together. Just for the purposes of my live stream, I am swapping it out, which does take longer. I want to show you guys my whole process. Let's see. That is cool, Donnell. Thank you, June. Yes, I understand. However, I am still practicing. Joanna, right back at you. After 25 plus years, I have started to do straight line quilting on my machine. Got to start sometime. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Joanna. Okay, so I'm going to start over here, just like I did before. Back stitch. So I'm doing this one here exactly the same as I did the previous one. Went a little too far. Go ahead and cut this tail thread from where I first started my stitching over here. And then, let's see. So this Wednesday, I'll be putting out a video on my binding spools, my small and large. My son has now named the large binding spool, so Tall Boy. And the little one is the Little Man. So we got the Little Man and the Tall Boy. He is such a goof, I swear. I'm like, Tall Boy makes me think of something else. Not a binding spool, but whatever floats its boat. It's my needle here. There we go. Let's see. Oh, almost forgot, Donnell. One key free motion tip buried in a video that I ran across is that adjusting the presser foot pressure makes a ton of difference. Plus, invest in a large Supreme slider. Okay. What is a slider? I need edumacation. Yes. Tell them, Quasar, say we need education here. We need a free motion quilter to come on and teach us on our channel of how to do this. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Crazy bird. Big bird. Funny, I call him Crazy Bird. He goes, Big Bird. Or a big chicken. Yes, big chicken. Are you a big chicken? Yes, big bird. So almost done with the strips, and then I can do the triangles, and then we can start putting these two blocks together and show you guys how I'm going to do that. Which is going to be the fun part, because that's when we start seeing the quilt coming together. Hey, go ahead and take the pin cushion out of this one. Or not pin cushion. Gonna take the pin out of that one. Not the pin cushion. Oi, 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 oi. Let's see. Okay. Now I have a potential 3D printer project for your son. Hopefully make for me. Definitely send me the information about it, and I will give it to him and have him get busy. Wondering, do you know where you saw the tutorial? I would like to learn free motion quilting and am finding it difficult. Joanna, whenever you send it to me in the chat, let me know so that way that I can post it up on my channel too. Auntie Michelle says, hi, Quasar, Sky, Kiwi, and the rest of the crew. Joanna says, a Supreme slider is a silicone-like mat that has a hole in the middle of your needle. It helps your fabric to move more freely. Trying one was a game changer for me. Awesome. And she also says, Jackie, I will try to hunt it down and share it with Donnell so that she can share it with y'all. Thank you, love. You're awesome. You're awesome, big sissy. Oops, forgot to put my foot down. Okay, almost done, crew. Then we can go to the next fun part of putting our blocks together. Start creating our very first row of this quilt. Okay, so here is the quilting of this one. Absolutely gorgeous. And here is the quilting of the back. I love that maize color because you don't even see it in this fabric. I mean, look at this. It blends in so well. The only time you actually see it is when it goes through like the planting pots or something of a darker color. So absolutely gorgeous. And we still got plenty of room here for putting our blocks together. So the next big question is, do I want them where they are going to be like this? Or do I want them all facing the same direction? Or opposite directions? Like this one right here, I'm kind of thinking what I'm thinking is I am going to go up, down, like a chevron, which will help create like some H's and O's. So what I'm going to do next is I am going to turn them over to the back. I am going to pin my backing completely down because we want the fronts right now. We want the backing out of our way. So let's see. I don't want the oranges so close to each other, so I'm going to flip it. I'm going to make sure I don't have two identical colors right there, which these here are too close to my comfort. So I'm going to flip this one. Put this one back. Yeah, that'll be good. So we're going to pin both of the two sides of the backing down. And this is the reason why I made my backing so much larger, and also why I cut my batting so much shorter. So that way there, I don't have any extra bulk in my seam allowance. So, and I'm just cutting these straight threads as I go. In worst case scenario, if I need to at any time, I don't think I will, but if I do at any point, I can always try and use my seam ripper to unpick a slight little alternating direction each row. Flip is good. Let's see, I missed some of the chats. Yeah, Supreme Slider sounds like a burger. Right? What stitch length and tension do you use? I am using just the normal traditional on my machine, which is set for a 3.5 stitch width and 2.4 stitch length. Awesome sauce, Joe. Thank you, honey. I just seen it pop up. Let me go grab that so I can post it in the chat. Let's see. Okay, so here is a video that she just sent me for anybody that would like to see it. It does, doesn't it? I tried it on a quilt and it looked more like a child scribbles. Very disappointing. Aw, I'm sorry. Jackie sounds better than mine looks like. I think I've made for walking foot. Alternating direction each row. Flip is good. This is video found, a link sent to you. There's that link right there, guys, for anyone that wants it. And all right, there we go. And I will also post that link in the description of the video after the live stream. So I have my two sides of each of these two blocks pinned back. So that way there, my backing is out of my way. So now we're going to flip these to the direction I want them. I want them in opposite directions. I want to make sure that the two colors touching, two triangle stones touching, are not the same colors or remotely close to the same. So I don't want them being the same colors. I want this to be scrappy looking. Granted, it's all from, like, all the pastels are all from one line and pre-cut, and all the center strips are all from the same pre-cut, but I want it to be as opposite as I can get it. And I'm thinking like this right here, because then the oranges are on opposite, the greens are on opposite. So what we're going to do now is take this and we're going to put these two side to front two faces, and we're only going to be stitching the 8.5 inch front block. So I had them lined up. You can pin, you can clip. I would probably put a clip in back here. Oops, not that clip. Help keep them lined up. You can match up the centers if you want, or you can just like wing it like I'm pretty much doing. It's all okay to me. So my backings are pinned out of the way. My fronts are clipped and there's no batting or anything like that, so no worried about any extra bulk. I'm just going to put this down here and do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm not starting right down here at the end. I'm going to come up about like, okay, so my batting stops right about here, so that's about where I'm going to start on the edge of my batting, and I'm going to go up here to where about the edge of my batting, about aligned with where these two seams are. So this is going to be my stop and my start. So this is going to be my start right here. And then this is going to be where I stop. So that way there, I don't have any extra any hassle on getting when I go to put the rows together. So I'm going to put my needle up there about where I need it. I am going to backstitch because I do not want that to come loose. And I'm going to backstitch at the ends. And now then that way there, whenever I open this up, we can do this to one way or the other. And when I open this up, my blocks are all nicely together. And it's super cute. Granted, this is not 100% lined up, and that's okay, because it's scrappy. It does not have to be perfect. There's no rules in the book that says this has to be 100%. Now, the thing is, okay, which way do I want to complete my backing on this piece here? We could either go where we try and do like this, and that encloses the seam from that there. Like pull this over this way, my seam from the front, wrap it around this, fold it over that way, and then I could even try and do like a little wrap over of this one, which would cause a lot of bulk, you know? But I'm thinking what I may do, because what I could actually do is try and trim this down a little bit. Because we only need one of these to be extra long. And I really love this kitty cat fabric. This beautiful spring. I don't even know whether they're called kitty cat fabric or what. So I'm kind of thinking we're going to go this route. And doing it this route, we just roll it all over underneath here, nice and neatly. And then you could try and like, so what I could do is press this, but I'm not going to because, yeah, I don't want to mess with all that right now. So we're going to trim this excess stuff back because I don't need all that extra bulk in there. I just wasn't for sure which one I was going to go with. And for the quilting portion, I wanted to make sure I had plenty of both squares. So I'm just folding this over. So I'm just going to fold this over in half to where it's touching up, to where the edge of my fabric here is touching up against the seam. And then I'm just going to fold it over again. That way there is no exposed seams. It's like a cover stitch or cover strip method. Hey Gladys. Let's see. Y'all, the best part of that eight-ish minute free motion video starts at the 5-minute mark. I hope it helps y'all so much as it has helped me. Everybody's saying hi, hi, hi. Okay, so now what we can do is, so I got this taken care of. So now I'm just going to stitch right down along the edge here. You can actually, if you don't want the, if you do not want the seams to show up on the other side, then for this here, then what you could do is do a quick little ladder stitch on this by hand, and that'll close it up as well. So I should turn this around the other way, so that way there my threads are all correct, but I always worry about whether I am going to miss my fabric. We're going to try it. We're going to test our luck. So I'm coming up here, right where my seam stopped up here. Yep, and I'm just going to go right along this seam right here where I've already stitched whenever I was doing the quilting. That way there I know I got it all. I should have came over further. Now I got this excess. I'll just have to go down it again, but that's okay. I'm a little rusty on the quilt as you go, but it's okay. I can just try and go back and hand stitch that part down. At least now it's right in my seam that I already had here, so that there is no additional seam coming through. So here is, let me bring you guys over here to the table. So here it is. And here's my backing of how it's going to be. And what I'll do is I'll just try and hand stitch this piece down right here, and we'll be good. But this is going to be this block and everything and all. And I am going to work on getting the rest of these all taken care of, and I will show you guys my progression as we go. Thank you, Joanna. But yeah, I mean, that it's super easy. No reason to be scared of doing Quilt as you go. I mean, it's super easy. It's a great way to do quilting on your domestic sewing machine when you don't have a much larger machine to do this in. And so my next one will be this here as well. And I'll be just doing this the same way. So they're going to alternate. My backing will alternate like this right here. And then I have not figured out the binding yet, but we'll get that far whenever we get there. I got a few ideas for the binding. Like I had this beautiful fabric right here. I'm kind of thinking if it's enough, I'll do this as a binding because it'll look so precious with this fabric. I'm like, that'd be so pretty. And I only got like a square left of it and everything and all. So a nice hefty like 30 by 30 square. So I'm like, that'd be a gorgeous binding to go with this. It's like the blues, the greens, the yellows, all the colors that are in this. And on the front, it'll look really good up against that. So I think that'd be really perfect with it. So that's probably what my binding is going to be for this. You are so welcome, Joanna. And I'm so happy you've been here the whole time. This is awesome. Thank you, Joe. Hey, Joe, you recognize the backing from TX? Hey, Maritza, you came in just as we're heading out, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. But I got to get going because I got to go visit my mama for a little bit now and then get back here before the 2 o'clock Zoom meeting with Heather and Donna and Dave and all these spectacular scrappers that we're going to be doing Heather's pattern in. And all the fabric that you guys sent me for making my dad a quilt, all the animal print fabrics, I'm gonna be cutting that all up, and that's what I'm gonna be using to make my dad a car quilt. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing day. I love you guys all so much. If you get out, please be safe, have fun, and smile. Because you never know whose day is going to change. I mean, whose day you can brighten and change with a simple gesture of a smile. Hope you guys all enjoyed this tutorial. And send me pictures of what you guys make if you